Hello, this is the Demon Lord of Pride, Lucifer, and I demand that you listen to the Full Metal Otaku podcast. And if you don't, I will personally torment you until you do exactly what I say.
This episode of FullMetalOtaku is brought to you by Figure's new album, Ozzy Rebellion, which you can buy on Amazon, CD Japan, Disc Heaven, iTunes, and streaming on Spotify.
What's up, everybody? This is Matt the Misfit from FullMetalOtaku, and today we got some good friends of mine. We got Psycho Knight here. Say what's up.
What's up?
Got Donovan over here.
Yep, what's up?
We got Mr. Davis.
Hey.
And we got Cole over here.
Hey, how's it going?
We had Charlie. She'll be back at some point, but she'll be back. But today, very special guest. I am super excited for this. It's the first time ever on FullMetalOtaku from Funimation. Mr. Dave Trosko.
Hiya. How's it going?
Nothing much, man. Good to have you on here.
Cool. Great to be here.
So for people who don't know who you are, tell us about yourself.
I've been doing voices for Funimation for 14 years.
Wow.
Started a long time ago. Started as just doing bit voices for shows like Full Metal Alchemist and Dragon Ball GT. My first real, big role was in High School Rumble, Daisuke Imidori. Actually, the first biggest role I got was, in Galaxy Railways as the older brother. So that was the first role. But after that, it'd been kind of for a couple years, and just recently things up again. And I have been directing for about a year now, not a full year, but about a year for Funimation. My first director project was All Out, which was 2 seasons, rugby anime. Second show was Seven Mortal Sins, of course, which kind of came to me a little bit.
It's out there. The show's out there.
Yeah,
Which, by the way, Nicole did the recent intro for my show. I asked her to do it. She said she'd do it. She did it. So I shot her. She's pretty cool.
Nicole's great, very friendly, very nice person.
Yeah, I've noticed she's only done 2 animes.
Yes, brand new.
See, now that makes sense.
Brand new. Her first role ever was Lucifer. Yeah. And I grabbed her for that role because I wanted a person that had a new voice and a new sound for this show.
See, I would feel awkward doing those type of shows because of the type of thing that goes on into it. So I'm like Monster Masune or something like that. It would be awkward for me to do. But I'd watch it. So. Speaking of new shows, go ahead. What was that?
That was George. She's
terrible. So my first girlfriend is a gal. Just aired on Funimation.
Yeah.
For people who don't know about it, what is it about?
My first girlfriend is a gal. Is slice of life high school comedy. This on the comedy. It's a little bit like American Pie. It's very relatable. It's about a boy who is he's 3 kind of pervy friends, and they push him to date this girl, Yukana, who is a gal is a type of girl, kind of like a high fashionista. It's a subculture in Japan, and it's kind of the first. It's kind of like a Jersey Shore type thing, honestly. The gals, at least, and it's kind of the first anime that really explores that subculture of Japan, the gal culture in Japan, and the show definitely showcases it. But it's a harem type of anime. He's got several girls interested in him, but he himself is a bumbling virgin, just struggling through life, as a lot of us back in high school could probably relate to. So I find the show super relatable. It's really, really funny. We have an amazing cast. We've got Alejandra Saab, Jamie Markey in there as the two leads. The three pervy friends of Junichi's. We've got Jacob Browning, Brad Smeaton, and Chris George. Jacob Browning and Chris Smeaton both being rather newcomers to Funimation. Chris George, of course, is a veteran and a great director as well. The show is super hilarious, and we've been taking as much liberty as we can to make it as funny as possible.
I've been watching the thing on Crunchyroll. It's fun to watch. It's like, do you do a voice on the show or no?
I don't know. Away from casting myself in any of my own projects, just because it
that makes sense, I guess.
Them separate.
Anybody have questions for Dave before we get on to the next one? Go ahead, Dave.
I was wondering if you've ever done any work on the Funimation series for the dub of Black Lagoon.
No.
No?
If I did, it was probably like background something. I've been in like
I'm a huge fan.
As far as
Go ahead, Davin.
for the new show you're working on, My Girlfriend is the Gal. Like, how far are you so far in the process of it? Like, has it just been released, or?
We just released the first dub episode today.
Okay.
Aired at 4 o'clock Eastern time today. With the simul dubs, we don't really get that far ahead. So we're on a 2-week turnaround. So the day that it shows in Japan, 2 weeks later, you can expect to see it dubbed and on Funimation.
Now when Space Dandy did their simultaneous, I'm not sure who was involved in Space Dandy, but that was being prepared at the same time, I believe.
That one was, yeah. There's been a couple that have been like that. Akiba's Trip was another one that was, I believe, last season or the season before that. And those were simul dubs. Like, we had 1 day in between. Or even at the very same time, too, in Japan.
But you had a question for David?
Well, I do.
Well, let's see. You said you were a part of the dub vocals on GT.
Yeah, like bits.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask, like, which actual character did you play as?
Like, I think it's like Boy in Blue Shirt.
Boy in Blue Shirt.
It's kind of basically like, characters that really not there.
Well, yeah.
Basically.
Background characters.
Yeah, background characters.
Like a good year and a half to 2 years. Except for my one role in Galaxy Railways, it was just all bits. And it's been that way for quite a while. Like, I've been in 150 animes or over that, but that's not to say I was a lead character in many of them. Since then, I've got plenty of name characters and stuff in other shows. There Again was a big one. Laughing Under the Clouds. I was Spain in Hitalia. That's a pretty popular one. Yeah.
Sorry.
Just because I'm credited in 150 animes, it's actually the named part in 150 animes.
Now, Cole, you got one? What's your question?
Real quick, I need to make sure this mic is working. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, good. All right. So my question is this has to do more with how you went about getting into dubbing. So when you first started off, not like zero experience, how'd you like go about it? Did you like make recordings and send it to like, I don't know, like to these people who like directors who are like doing these shows to check out your voice, or did you like call and make an appointment? Like, how did you go about like at first getting yourself into dubbing?
It was a lot less romantic than it sounds. I literally responded to an open call that Funimation had. Now, granted, this was 14 years ago when anime wasn't really that big a deal.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. That big of a company. So
yeah,
I came in for an open call audition. I was 17. I think I was 17 or 16.
Oh.
And I'm 31 now. Wow. If that gives you any sort of time reference. And I auditioned with someone who heard my and thought that I was a usable person. So he gave me a call back, and I started bits. Chris Bevins gave me my first bit role, and I can't remember, but I imagine it was Full Metal Alchemist or something. Or actually, maybe it was Burst Angel. Not quite. Can't really remember. But Chris Bevins knew me because my dad actually worked for the Boy Scouts of America together.
Oh.
And Chris pulled me in and was like, "Hey, your last name's Trosko, in relation to George Trosko?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's my dad." And he's like, "Oh, your dad, or my dad, your dad's boss." And I was like, "Oh, that's sweet." He's like, "Now I'm going to be your boss."
That's kind of ironic if you think about it.
Well, you answered my next question. I was going to ask, since he called you, I was like, how do you get a hold of that info? Because I have been curious of possibly like myself attempting voice acting as a.
I felt like one of my questions is like, what
yeah. So that's why I was asking, like, how, at least from your experience, how you got yourself at first in the beginning. Like was one person I know said that he's doing recordings of his voice acting, and I guess that probably means that he was gonna, like, I don't know, like make contact with like companies and then like send in like, recorded stuff. So that's why I was asking how you went about it, just to get a good idea.
Yeah, a little bit different. I'll tell you now how you would go about it. A lot different than how it was. Responding to an open call at Funimation really not used any 500 actors, and out of those 500 actors, probably about 150 of them get consistent work with them. So it is a very crowded. In order to get into voice work, though, I would recommend getting acting classes first, being an actor first. You can't really voice act without half of that.
That's usually what somebody ever says. You gotta know how to act first before you do voice acting.
Yeah. So that's definitely important. I was theater to begin with. I was a high school theater kid. I went to college for theater. I graduated with a degree in theater and a master's degree in theater. So I acting was really hard to get into because it was hard to get used to that type of acting coming from the stage. But for people trying to get into it, I'd say learn to act and then start doing projects wherever you can. There's always projects around if you're in a major metropolitan area. It's a little bit harder if you're in the boonies. But if you live close to Chicago, here, and those are the major cities where anime dubbing and a lot of recording is on. Sending voiceover demo in is important too, getting a nice voiceover demo. Don't just have your friends listen to it, have professionals listen to it, because your friends will all say that it sounds good.
Oh, absolutely. I understand.
Yeah.
I work in the film industry, and it's hard getting on crews, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And take from well, you may suck.
Yeah.
You may
Never
not.
have-
Carolina. Most of us live like either in Somerville or Charleston. It's a lot harder to find, gigs like with anime.
Yeah, well, when it comes to virtually anything of that sort, to be honest with, from what I know in the film industry, South Carolina is at the moment relatively dead. Like, there's not very much going on in the state, which is why it's probably best to go to like Atlanta. It's kind of become, at least for the southeast, like of the U.S., it's kind of more of a, I guess you could say, like a central point for things of that nature, especially film.
Texas
And
is
for a question about, I was going to say, like, you necessarily need like a kind of help.
Say that again, though?
Break up.
Do you necessarily need like a degree in theater to actually apply for it? That's
There's not. Since it's an acting gig. There's not really an application process. It's not like working at Albertsons or something where you just fill out an application and then they'll look at it. It's really a self-promotion sort of deal. So a theater degree helps because it gives you some sort of legitimacy behind what you're doing, but you don't necessarily need one. If you have, there's plenty of voice acting talent that don't have theater degrees that are perfectly talented. It does help. It shows that you're trained. It shows that you're committed to the craft, I would say. But also, being involved in acting and theater and projects like that will definitely also show that too. I don't know the voice actor at Funimation that does do some other form of either arts or theatrical arts or acting, from improv to stand-up comedy to even like YouTube presence and stuff like that. Like, I don't know Funimation that doesn't do something else other than that, or just spends the majority of their time voice acting.
Yeah.
Hearing a ton of work from audiobooks. I've done some audiobooks. There's commercials. There's just radio copy. There's a ton of work here and there.
So I don't know what that was as far as I can go. But so a question I've been wondering is, like, you can't just get into anime just by watching, just to get into it. You have to be able to watch some things. So, like, what was your first anime you ever watched that got you hooked into anime? See, I answered with with Dragon Ball Z, but got me cold-heartedly hooked on it was Cowboy Bebop. So, what happened with you? How'd you?
Oh, wait, just before you answer, I just need to let y'all know real quick that my phone's about to die, so I'm going to try and get on my laptop to rejoin y'all.
All right, cool. That's cool.
All right.
I was never a huge fan of anime per se, but I was a huge fan of cartoons growing up. My favorites were the Billy West cartoons, like Doug and Ren and Stimpy.
Oh yeah.
Shows like Animaniacs, like all those Tiny Toons, all those classic Nickelodeon cartoons were really what got me into the idea of voice acting. In fact, Billy West, who I just got to meet last month, like super cool. I got to meet one of my heroes. He was the first guy that I, as a kid, as a 6 or 7-year-old, you really don't think about like the voices behind the characters that you're watching. But he was the first guy that I was like, oh, that's Billy West's voice. I know that voice. And I knew him as a voice actor. So before I anybody else, he was the first voice actor that I knew of. So,
like voice actors like Mel Blanc and Kevin Conroy, you don't really recognize that's them until you go talk to them.
Right.
I think it's because Ren and Stimpy was such a big, huge deal to me as a kid, because it was the first show that my parents were like, "You cannot watch that show." So,
I sort of can see why, because it was like so out there and just crazy at the same time.
That was the show that all the parents complained about.
Yeah.
Now everyone's complaining about Steven Universe and these other new shows that not a lot of people watching now. So.
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy was a big thing, and because I guess it was restricted, was why it was so fascinating to me to watch it, and it was so silly. So that was probably my favorite animated show. It still is. That one, Rocko's Modern Life, was another one that I watched a lot.
That's coming, actually.
As a kid younger than that, Inspector Gadget was like my favorite show growing up. As far as anime is concerned, though, I never really got into it too much until I started doing it. And then I was really just engrossed in the projects that I was working on. So the first real anime that I kind of really watched all the way through was Galaxy Railways. And I had seen Dragon Ball Z on network growing up as well, and I'd watched that, but I wasn't.
It's like everyone's seen like Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z. Those shows on at the time. So
yeah,
and then like Naruto came in, and then I believe it was like.
I was into that when I was a kid. Naruto. When I was a kid, I couldn't stand Dragon Ball, but it was for stupid reasons when I was a little kid. Stupid reasons that I couldn't stand it. Apparently, it came on right after my favorite show, Ed, Edd n Eddy. I thought, oh, this show's coming on. I want to watch more Ed, Edd n Eddy.
I remember that show. Sure.
I mean, Ed, Edd n Eddy is like my all-time favorite cartoon show, like ever, next to Teen Titans. So like, or no, actually next to Batman the animated series. But
yeah. There really wasn't much anime for me growing up. Dragon Ball Z was pretty much it, and
they didn't air it. They didn't air anime too much, except for Toonami. That was the only thing you could really watch.
And
yeah.
And then when they started doing when they brought in Adult Swim, they started airing things like Cowboy Bebop and stuff like that late at night.
I was older and not as interested in cartoons.
It's kind of weird now because you're like, it's anime, but you gotta explain to people anime is not technically cartoons if you're watching the right one.
Animation in general is not automatically a cartoon. A cartoon is like something for like little kids.
Like Gorilla,
really.
I'm going to take a band for example. Gorillas is not a cartoon to watch. It's the animated band like Death Clock is and all that.
Right.
Speaking of Funimation, I just recently, sometime last year or early this year, bought the Rurouni Kenshin series. Did you have anything to do with the live action dubbing of that?
I don't believe so.
You said, and you also mentioned FullMetalOtaku earlier. Is there any chance of our plans to dub that movie when it comes out?
I don't know. And even if I did, I don't think I'd be able to talk about that.
Darn. At least I tried on that one. Speaking of, I just read you're also reading, are involved of an anime called All Out.
Yeah, I directed that show. Yeah.
That, I believe, is a sports anime, right?
Yes. Yes, it's first Red. It's it was a really fun project. It was the first project I ever got to do, so it was fun working with new people, and the show itself. I think I cast over 75 different voice actors, because there's so many different reoccurring characters that come through.
And usually some of them do multiple characters too on shows.
Very, very occasionally. We have so many actors, it's really easy to, well, not really easy, but it's pretty easy to find a voice for every specific character. And because it is anime and not like a cartoon, like Animaniacs or opposed to one actor doing voices. I think anime lends itself to an art form that likes to use voice-specific characters rather than using one person for a couple voices. Granted, that's not always the case. In All Out, the only time that we did double casting was at the very end when the main team plays their final opponent. There was these characters on the opposing team that kind of mirrored the characters on the main team. So we kind of used the main characters' mirrors, and we changed their voices up a little bit, and then had them voice their opponent. So it's kind of like, your greatest enemy is yourself sort of thing. Your greatest opponent.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a cool little artistic touch we added at the end. So if you listen to episodes 23 through 25, you can hear the main cast also voice different characters on the opposing team.
Now, somehow I don't know how I found that anime, but actually I was listening to Fairy Tale soundtrack, which I don't know what it is, but something about Yasuharu Takanashi's music just gets me going. Have you ever met
One of my favorite
Takanashi?
intros.
I haven't, no.
He is on Facebook. He does actually have a Facebook. Yeah, he's friends with me on Facebook. He's pretty cool. He actually, I asked him if I can use his 30-second intro, not intro, but pieces as intros and stuff for the podcast. He said that's all right. That's cool as long as you note that it's by me. I'm like, I do that. So, but he's pretty cool. I want to get him on the show, but I don't know. It's language barrier, I guess, would be hard to do. But but have you met?
Yeah.
Have you ever met the people who are actually made the anime or the mangas at all?
We did an interview at the last convention that I was at with MAPPA, who were the guys that did Yuri on Ice. And that was kind of interesting just to get the inside scoop from Japan. But for the most part, we as directors and actors really don't interact too much with the Japanese counterparts. It's cool to sometimes meet them, but very seldom do we actually get to. We're kind of on our own little island in Texas.
Now, do you have a favorite character that you haven't voiced that you've cast people in?
Right now, in my first girlfriend is a gal, there are several characters that I'm like, oh man, I really wanted to voice that character. Just because they're so fun and they're, my girlfriend is a gal, though it is anime, is pretty cartoony at times. It's all over the place. It's really fun. So they get to do a lot of fun things with their voices. Brad Smeaton, who I mentioned earlier, plays Shinpei in that, and he goes all over the place with his voice, from radio announcer to soccer announcer to Star Wars impersonations. It's quite Shinpei and my girlfriend as a gal would be a great character. I'd love to voice that. Anybody.
I'm sorry, I got a little distracted.
Alrighty, Mr. Davis.
So, okay, now I remember what I was going to say. So, I've been watching a show called Twin Star Exorcist. I'm not actually sure who has the rights to that, but if you were asked to do, if Funimation does have the rights to that, would you be interested in doing Twin Star Exorcist?
I'm not familiar with the property.
Well, I'm checking out on Crunchyroll. It's pretty good. It's pretty good watching on Crunchyroll. About 50 episodes, I believe. But it's really bizarre anime to watch. But so what other projects do you got coming up that if you want to talk about it is
coming up? We're pretty busy with finishing 7 Mortal Sins and starting this new show up this season. The DVD release for All Out will be coming out relatively soon, so that'll be the next kind of big step. Other than that, not much. I mean, I'm voice cast in Centaur's Life right now as Fujimoto.
Oh, I've been watching that on Crunchyroll. It's different. Different.
I'm in that show. I'm also in Convenience Store Boyfriends as Makoto, who's the school president. So those will be fun projects to work on. Those are projects that are, in fact, Centaur's Life works in the same studio that I work in, and by Paxton, who is literally right across the hall from me. So.
Wait, who's across the hall from you?
Dave Saxton.
What about convenient?
That is kind of convenient a little bit. Who else has got questions for Dave
Let me see. Hold on. Okay. You say you got you were really inspired by old cartoons?
Yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to say, what was there any kind of inspiration to what this new show was that is making right now, or I hear that.
Right.
Huh? I'm sorry.
I take a lot of inspiration.
Hey, Davis, your room's a little too loud.
Davis, it's a bit too loud. I didn't. So many interruptions.
All right, go, Dave.
Somebody's TV was really loud.
There's a lot of inspirations that I've taken from different voice actors, different shows, but you kind of take it all, you put it in your brain, and then out comes something unique and different. And I try for every single show to be unique and stand on its own. And I always like to push myself as a director to make it challenging for both me and the actors. I believe that the work comes out of.
Have you ever cast Steve Bloom in like anything you've done?
No.
Because he is a treat to listen to when he does like his panels and stuff.
Matt here's a fanboy, so
like if you ask him to do, say, I don't know, something about Legend of Korra and Toonami, he'll do it. It just sounds so cool. That's somebody I would like to get on the show, but somebody like him. Imagine him doing like the intro to our podcast as Tom. That would be amazing. But Dave, you got a question for Dave?
Yeah, I can't think of anything right now.
How about you, Donovan?
Well, I would ask him, like, say if we're on like a project and we have where can we actually possibly
Might want to try that again.
yeah, try asking again.
Hey guys, I'm off the bus.
Hey, it's Charlie back.
I was saying, if can we go for if we're working on projects and we're close to sort of on right now.
I'm still kind of breaking up. I don't understand the question.
Yeah, it's still breaking up a bit.
I'm about to head in right now.
All right.
I'm about to head.
Here, Charlie, here, Davis and Charlie, trying to like mute your mics for a sec so we can see if Donovan can get his question out.
Hey, Grandma.
All right. So my question is,
Hey, Grandma.
how good to see you.
Good.
A couple of us are actually working on a bit of an anime project. Is there
Ma'am?
a way anyone we can go to maybe try to turn it and see how well that goes?
Oh,
Well, I don't know of that what I do, of what gets done animatedly.
Oh my God.
We're pretty we just dub.
I did what I told you.
Yes, Grandma.
We're
It's going to be a surprise, and when I tell you stuff, it'll work out. I need you to make copies. I think it's on that first page. Let's see, you might just make a copy.
Oh, I'm talking to a director from Funimation. Can we talk? Can we talk about this later?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I'm so sorry. So, Mr. Dave, sir.
Yes.
Mr. Dave, right? I have a question for you. What's it like working in Funimation Studios, sir?
It's a dream come true. It's a lot of
Really?
fun. Best job I've ever had. Yeah, I really.
I'm sorry to cut you off, sir, but I'm just so excited meeting a Funimation director. I love anime. But have you seen any other famous voice actors working in Funimation Studios before?
Well, famous is relative, right? But yeah, I've worked with guys like Fukasawa before. I'm friends with Ian from. You get to see lots. Everybody that's in any of your favorite Funimation shows, I probably at one point met them. Michael Tatum has been in my booth before.
I like him. He's pretty cool.
Caitlin Glass works right across the hall from me. She's awesome.
What about Crispin Freeman?
I haven't worked with him. No.
Okay. Well, since I brought that up, is there anybody you would like to work with that you haven't got a chance to work with yet? Like a Steve Bloomin and whatnot.
Man, well, apart from like really, really famous voice peoples like John Benjamin or Patrick Warburton or people that are really kind of that I get starstruck by. I don't know. I've worked with a lot of really fun people so far, and the voiceover industry is a little bit different to where everyone's pretty chill and pretty humble. We don't make a ton of money doing what we do. We just love doing it.
But I wish y'all did though, sir. I mean, that would mean a whole lot. I mean, coming from a director like yourself, you make a whole lot of money when you direct anime shows, sir. Trust me. I'm in school and I'm learning I'm in school editing, and I'm learning how to be an editor and doing animation on Adobe software and stuff. So
that's terrific. Keep that up.
Hey, there
Sure,
you go. Got props over there from Funimation guy there, Charlie.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Do what you love doing. That's probably my biggest message is to do what you love. I didn't pursue this until really recently, which is why you probably haven't heard much about me or from me like you have other voice actors who've been working for Funimation for.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't know anything about you until I tweeted about my first girlfriend's a gal. I was like, oh, okay.
No, I literally started Twitter a year ago, so I haven't really self-promoted at all, but I used to be a chef. I used to work in restaurants as a server. I always did voiceover work on the side. I did some acting, some Shakespearean acting. I moved to London for a little bit, but it hasn't been until recently that I actually started working for Funimation. And I sure love it. It's really great.
Yeah, that's the thing about that is lots of time to kind of get yourself out there, especially if you start to do well, then leave impressions on people. That kind of helps.
Yeah.
Impressions.
self-promoting is a big thing right now, and it's something I'm really bad at.
Well, I totally understand. I mean, for our own project, we're trying to self-promote whatever way we can, and that ain't easy.
No, it's not. I mean, the outlet at Funimation and the fans like you to interact with, and I am was director that really enjoys interacting with fans because I think that you guys are the lifeblood of what we do.
Yeah, oh, exactly, yeah.
You know, other people may charge a bunch of money to go do public appearances, but I just want to come meet people at conventions and
Have you ever been to Comic-Con before, sir?
I haven't. No, I haven't been to that one. I've been to several cons before, anime cons. Coming up, I'll be in Phoenix, Arizona, doing a con. I'll be at Anime USA in December, and then I'll also be at Elite up in Chicago in December as well.
How about Anime Expo? Have you done that one?
I haven't done that one yet. No, but I'm talking about that one next year with them.
I want to go to at least one of those. You know, I mean, Comic-Con or anime, one of those, you know, where you can, like, meet all your stars and idols and all that stuff. Like, if I go to Comic-Con, I want to meet Kevin Conroy or something like that, you know?
If I go to Comic-Con, I want to meet Phil Lamar.
That'd be cool. The Reading Rainbow guy.
Oh, yeah. The dude from Star Trek. Yep. I always say the dude from Star Trek because that's actually what I know him from. But,
At a Star Wars convention this year, I saw Mark Hamill walk onto a stage. I got to do that.
But speaking of Mark Hamill, is there any chance, because I know how nerdy he is, do you think if Funimation would ever get Mark Hamill to do an anime at least one time? Huh?
He's already done an anime before.
What? Oh, if you say Avatar: The Last Airbender.
No.
What was he doing? Because I didn't know he did any.
I can't remember exactly, but I could have sworn I heard his voice somewhere.
Well, it could be somebody it sounds like him, but
Well, actually, he did the dubbing for that old Yakuza game, the first one.
But speaking of Funimation, I believe sometime this month they're doing Fairy Tail U.S. Theater screenings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I like how they're doing this because they're doing the subtitled one on Monday, and then Wednesday and Saturday they're doing the dub version. So I was gonna go to the Monday screening, but then I'm like, but then also the same day as the Batman Harley Quinn thing. I'm like, I'll just go to the Saturday dub screening because it's gonna be playing at my theater. So, but I believe this is supposed to be the end of Fairy Tail. I think I've been told by sources.
The end of one arc.
Oh, I believe the anime, not the anime, the manga just ended. I think.
Did it?
I believe so.
Which I mean, to me, some animes shouldn't have ended the way it did. Like, there's one I think ended way too soon. What was the name of it? I was going to say Fully Coolly, but then they're bringing that back. So.
It's about to say they're just now coming back with that.
Are you guys doing Fully Coolly, or is it somebody else?
I don't know.
I have not got a chance to watch Ghost in Shell live action movie. I have not got a chance to watch that.
Well, since we're on the live, what do you think about studios doing live action adaptations of anime?
I think it's cool. I think we might have more opportunities now that we're part of Sony to do that sort of thing too.
Yeah, that
Sony?
News, yeah, that news broke yesterday. Sony, I believe, required majority something or other ownership. What's it?
Shareholder, yeah.
Mr. Dave.
Yes, Charlie.
Do you do Adobe software in Funimation?
I don't. No. We pretty much just use Pro Tools to record.
Oh, wow.
I was wondering what recording software you do. I mean, because I use to record my voice or something is Audacity. That's all I got because it's free. but But like, so I was curious.
Version of Pro Tools, there is. We also use Newman mics to record, so it's pretty much.
There goes that one answer question I had about the mics. See, I have a Samson Meteor mic, so it's big. It's not that big, but it's something.
Well, hey guys, I'm actually gonna have to head out here and get to work pretty soon. But great talking to you. And
great talking to you too, Mr. Dave. It was nice meeting you on Skype, sir.
You're welcome to come back anytime you want.
All right, y'all. Yeah, stay tuned. Follow me. Keep on retweeting and tweeting on Twitter through the hashtag my first girlfriend is a gal.
I'm hoping to get Nicole on here. She said she'd do it, but she's got. I'm asking about her schedule. See how that works.
I was about to say their schedules, dude.
I'm shocked. Yeah. I'm shocked I didn't have to pay you or anything to do. It's like, let's do it.
Now, like I said, I like talking to fans. You guys are the lifeblood of what we do, and I really appreciate you guys reaching out. And keep on tuning in.
Keep it up with that, dude, because fan base gets stronger with that. So.
We're on that.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
How can people reach out to you, Dave?
Yeah. Hit me. You can go to davetrosko.com. That's the thing now. I just made my first website. It sucks, but hey.
It's something, okay? It's all right, dude.
Yeah. Something. It's the start of something.
I know what
trust
to build.
Hey, the FullMetalOtaku website's kind of crappy too, so I don't really.
At Dave Trosko on Twitter, or you can also follow me on Instagram at Troskologist.
Clever.
And
that actually sounds cool, to be honest with you.
And what we're recording in Studio G. And yeah.
All right.
So, Mr. Dave Trosko. Trosko. Okay,
yeah.
Matthew. Before you go, would you like to say any words of wisdom to the viewers?
Yeah. I'll kind of revamp on what I said earlier. Do what you love doing, and if you love,
basically.
Yeah, do what you love doing, and do it to the fullest of your ability. Love God, love people, and love people like you love yourself, and all of that will get you there.
Yeah, don't let anybody ever tell you can't do this, you can't do that, because then one day or another you'll be $1 million worth of stuff coming out from you.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't let nobody tell you something that you can't do it, but you can.
I mean, heck, Dave's got a few animes coming out, and I'm gonna watch one of them later.
Enjoy. I'll be signing off. All right.
All right, Mr. Trosko. Good luck and make some good stuff.
Good luck, sir.
I'll tell you what I think about. I'll tell you what I think about My First Girlfriend's a Gal when I listen to it. Well, watch it. Listen.
Yeah, dude, totally.
Whichever one is coming out of my mouth.
My First Girlfriend is a Gal. Watch it tonight. We'll also be doing a live feed with the actors, with a couple of the actors tonight, to kind of celebrate the first.
Is that like going to be like a live? What is it? Live stream? What is it? Huh?
We'll Periscope ourselves. We're going to be at a bar, and
I'll check into that.
Yeah, check it out. It'll be on my Twitter for sure.
All
right. Catch you all later.
All right. Later.
Later.
Bye. Again, would like to thank Dave Trosko for coming on the podcast, and I also want to give a special thank you to Nicole Endicott, who did the intro for the FullMetalOtaku channel. It's a big shout to each one of those guys. They're pretty cool people. If you want to follow them, you can follow them on the social media links. I'm going to give them down below. And you can follow us at FullMetalOtaku with the S at the end of it. I'm at the Misfit alongside with the rest of the crew. Peace out. We'll talk to you guys later.